Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with ReZero Season 4 Episode 10 reaction. So the previous episode, things are not looking good for Subaru. He already had a mental, breakdown, and then like little by little he does kind of get himself together a little bit. But obviously he doesn't trust anyone. He's thinking like they're going to kill him or something. In the end, after going through a lot of different situations, he finally trusts Patrash, but after like Patrash saved him from like a huge like situation, and then like later on he again finds himself in a weird situation where it seems like he like kind of choked out Mary, and then there's something written on his hand like Natsuki Subaru was here. There's also a section which I said, it seems like Rem was there behind him and pushed him, like over the edge. So obviously I don't think it's Rem, but I feel like there's something going on, like maybe like someone took possession of her or something. And maybe someone's taking possession of Subaru as well when he's like out cold. I don't know. Something is going on. Let's see what this is about. Let's get started. So yeah, I'll put the timer here, sync the timer to the original video, and watch it alongside my reaction. Yeah, let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh God. He's like, oh, did I? Yeah, he's like, so he's thinking that he's different from. Hmm. Yeah, that's a very good point. One of the 10 rules of a mystery, like the detective should never be the killer. Okay. Right. Wait, he didn't mention that he lost his memory, right? So he called her Emilia Chan. So Emilia might will. Hmm. Ooh. Yeah. Damn. Well, the thing is, Tour doesn't trust her. That's a problem. Yeah. Oh. Hmm. Uh, third floor. Evil Omen. What? Oh! Hey yo! Yeah. It's already here. Yeah, she's dead. Obviously. Like, we know that, but they don't know that. Oh, Hmm. Yeah, they know her the best, I would say. No, I don't know. Talk- right. He like maybe we can get some insight as to what happened. Here we go. Oh yeah, she talked about how she was abandoned in the forest and brought up by ma beasts. Oh, damn. Uh, yeah, like she has that power to. She mentioned it how that might be the reason why she was abandoned in the first place. Damn. Oh wait. Oh, this is where she meets Elsa. Look. Damn. It's great. Hmm. Uh. Hey. Oh, that's Lost, right? Oh. Right. Oh, it's the Apple seller. Oh, bah! Yo! Interesting. Wait, so she came here? Okay. Oh, okay, this is not Subaru. Who the hell? What is going on? Yeah, okay, so that was when he was out. And now he switches, I guess. Yeah. Yes, I was right. Someone is. And then he carves the name in his hand. Yeah. No, because it's it's Maylee's book, so he experienced it himself. What did you see? Yeah. Oh my god. Stop. Hmm. Freaking jump scaring. Ooh. Freaking. Oh yeah, Emilia can go there because she passed the trial. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, god damn. Right. Alright. Well, wait, is he planning? I was gonna say, is he planning to kill them and then read their book? That'll be messed up. Oh my god. I'm right, that's what he's thinking. Oh, he's panicking. He's like, hmm. Damn. Right, because he was thinking about. Yeah, she went to ask. Hmm. Yeah. All right. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, wait, did Shala move it? Because Shala was. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait. Yeah, you're looking at her throat? Yeah, you ended there? Hmm. 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 Okay. Right. So, I'm trying to think like what is actually going on because like I feel like this whole section has become like a whole like detective like a mystery kind of thing where like you know typically it's like the whole situation is like where, like, usually how it goes in ReZero is like, obviously Subaru like dies, he loops back, and he does something different, and like something else happens, and he dies again maybe, and then that's how it goes. But here, the problem here is that they're kind of stuck here, so it kind of makes like a situation where you cannot really like do anything other than try to figure out what the hell is going on. Also, Subaru's missing his memories, and it seems like he's the one who's killing them, but he doesn't know, and he's thinking like this is like a different Subaru. And that's what's confusing him, because he thinks this Natsuki Subaru that is killing everyone is the Natsuki Subaru that they know. And that's why he's confused, and he's like, how the hell can these people love and respect someone like this? So, and it is also kind of because he's also getting confused. Like, a lot of the times he's talking to Subaru as if it's like a third person, and then he's talking as if he himself is not Subaru. Like, it's all mixed up. Like, sometimes he's like, who are you? And sometimes he's like, who am I? So he himself is confused as to fact that, because this whole thing is going on, he's probably sometimes kind of questioning himself as to if he is Natsuki Subaru or not. Because as they say, like, when everyone around you, like, even if like when there's like everyone around you who says something which might be completely wrong or might be completely like different, and you're the only one who thinks that, sometimes you might question that maybe I'm the one who's like actually the problem here. Am I the only one who's the actual crazy one here? Like, if everyone around you is crazy and you're the only sane person, like, you might question yourself and be like, is it them or is it actually me? Maybe what they're saying is actually true, and what I am, the actual crazy one. That is what's going on with Subaru here. Because obviously, in his head, he is Natsuki Subaru. He comes from the real world. He came over here and he's missing his memories. And then he apparently gets to know that, oh, all these people around me apparently know Natsuki Subaru, but I'm supposed to be Natsuki Subaru and I have no memories of this Natsuki Subaru. So who do they know? Is it actually my memory is gone, or maybe I'm actually not Natsuki Subaru? I'm something else. And this Natsuki Subaru they're talking about is the actual Natsuki Subaru, because all of them knows a Natsuki Subaru that I myself, being Natsuki Subaru, doesn't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one here. Maybe I'm actually not Natsuki Subaru, I'm something else. And this person who takes over me is this Natsuki Subaru. So that's what's happening, because I think he's like confusing himself sometimes, like thinking maybe he's not Natsuki Subaru, maybe that person who comes out is Natsuki Subaru and he's something else. So, that's what's going on. Either way, I'm trying to understand. What is that? Like, like, who is that? Like, hmm. I don't know, man. I I think it's gluttony. I said this before, but since it's related to memories, I feel like gluttony is in action here, some way or the other. Because, like I said, um, in the previous episode, like when I don't know if that was Rem, but it seemed like it was Rem who pushed Subaru, like to his death. Like, she calls him hero. The only person who should know that, like who could say something like that is Rem herself, or someone who has Rem's memories. Gluttony has Rem's memories because Gluttony ate it. So that's number one reason, I think. Number two is, like I said, Subaru himself is missing his memory, so I feel like maybe there's gluttony in action here as well, some way or the other. You know, so that's another thing. And there's another thing that's kind of bothering me is, like, if you remember, Subaru went and like the last we saw of him with intact memory is when he was found in the library reading someone's book, and he was like, and he like fell, Oh, may- no, 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 no. Okay, never mind. I was thinking something else. I was thinking maybe he read Rem's book, and then immediately realized that Rem's not dead. She just lost her memories. Because like what I'm thinking is like he read someone's book who, like, who who died somewhere or the other, and their memory was eaten. Because obviously, if it's not someone who's dead, their book will not appear. So, like, it's a prerequisite condition that whoever's book he read is dead. And what I'm thinking is, like, maybe in that, I think I mentioned this before as well, maybe in that book that he was reading just before he lost his memories, that person also became a victim of gluttony and lost their memory like that. And that's how, because Subaru, like as they explained here, like when you're going into the book, you're living the life of that person. So he experienced it firsthand, so that's why he lost his memory as well, as a way of kind of, like, yeah. So that's why I'm thinking, like, maybe this is gluttony's work here. And maybe, I don't know, I haven't. I think we still need more clues, because like it is pretty obvious now, because they literally showed us that Subaru's switching with someone, or something is going on. Like he's like, like when he's blacking out, he he's like this weird type of a, like, person who's like, who talked to Meili before, and then, yeah. Oh no, wait, just a minute. No, okay, wait. So, oh yeah, okay. So here's the thing. Another thing I think we can understand from this episode is, in that flashback where we see Meili like kind of sneak into the library, and Subaru was already there, like reading. That is the moment, I'm guessing, that Subaru, like, that was the moment when Subaru lost his memories. So when they found Subaru unconscious in the library, it was because of this whole like section where you can see Subaru's like reading some book here, and Meili comes, and Subaru's like, oh, like, like, and like confronts Meili about it. That whole section. Obviously, that was not Subaru, but that was something else, maybe. Um, yeah, and like you know what? I feel like a lot of things would have been answered if he realized whose book Subaru was reading back then. This is why it's kind of getting more, I don't know, because whoever's book he was reading, that person has something to do with whatever is going on here, and that person is dead, obviously. But hmm, yeah. So okay, so here it is. Last we saw Subaru. Subaru went up the stairs, and then bam, he wakes up. He's lost his memory. Everyone said that apparently they found him in the library with a lot of books kind of, just kind of scattered around him. So they think that he was reading someone's book and something happened. And obviously, not Subaru doesn't remember anything. So here we know what exactly happened at that moment, kind of. So something happened, and this version of Subaru, whatever this is, appeared. And Meili came here, and then he also had that conversation with Meili. And then I guess everyone else found him unconscious. So whenever Subaru's blacking out from this point onwards, this other Subaru is appearing in his place. And yeah, so that is what happened. And now we saw, obviously, like the next part as well, where Meili was, brought to the to the library again, or whatever, and Subaru, or this other version of Subaru, killed her over there. Yeah. Now Subaru, like the Subaru who's conscious, he is kind of sometimes forgetting that he's Subaru himself. He's sometimes questioning his own identity. Because like I said, everyone knows this other Subaru that he himself doesn't know of. So he's sometimes thinking like maybe it is me who's actually not Subaru. And he's also questioning that this Subaru that he saw in his memory, that as we read the book, he's like this. So why do all these people like this Subaru so much? But obviously that is not Subaru. There is something else is going on here. Like we don't know exactly what. Like this is very interesting. I feel like this is like the first time I'm actually because usually little by little, like they kind of give us hints and we can kind of figure out what is going on. I still cannot understand what's going on here because there are so many contradicting points in this whole situation. Like I'm coming to a conclusion and then immediately I'm like, no, that's not what's probably has happened. Like it's like, I don't know, it's like a very weird type of a situation here where they're giving us clues and information, but they're given in such a way that you cannot connect them together. Like we need the connecting, like puzzle pieces, not just any puzzle piece. Like we're missing the connecting puzzle pieces here. So yeah, and another thing, like this is another thing, like this makes it even better, I feel like, which is the fact that we cannot really like be honest. Like this version of Subaru, whatever he's seeing, I actually cannot trust it. Like because like he has like because the thing is he is thinking a lot of things, and he's thinking like Emilia is evil or Beatrice is evil and all these people are evil, and he's sometimes kind of, not, I wouldn't say hallucinating, but in his head he's kind of thinking like maybe they're trying to kill me or something. So I like whatever we're seeing from Subaru's perspective, I cannot trust it myself completely. Like to make sense of this situation, to try to understand what is going on and try to deduce it, we need a point of view where we can trust what we can see. There's a lot of these things which I'm seeing and I'm thinking maybe Subaru is kind of exaggerating it in his head and this is how it's looking, in front of us. Like there was also like a section where I thought that when he was reading like the Meili's book, where I thought maybe like Subaru is kind of like, since he's like, or he's convinced that this other person like inside of him is like evil or something, like this version of Subaru that we are seeing in Meili's book, maybe it is like an over exaggerated version of him that he's seeing, and maybe that's not how it was. I cannot really trust what we are seeing like properly, because I feel like Subaru still doesn't understand a lot of things because of his memory loss, and that's why there's a lot of things he's kind of overthinking, and we might actually be seeing it from his point of view. So a lot of the things that we are seeing might be over exaggerated, or might be something that he's just kind of like, so I cannot even trust that. And like that's the thing. That's the thing. So I'm not able to properly count on what Subaru is seeing either, because I feel like there's might be a few things here which he might just be overthinking about. Because he's literally seeing that he's seeing like Meili's like ghost or some, not ghost I would say, but like a part of him inside, like his conscience or whatever it is, like a part of him is kind of like appearing in front of him as Meili, and you can see like he's getting jump scared by this Meili's like weird type of a like this apparition or whatever. But obviously that's all in his head. So it's pretty obvious that a lot of the things we're seeing here might actually be just in Subaru's head. So that's why I'm not able to properly trust what we are seeing in front of the screen, because all of those things we're seeing is from Subaru's point of view. So a lot of these things might actually be just something that he's made up in his head. Like that's also another thing I'm thinking, because after we saw today's episode, in the previous episode where someone pushed him, you know, like we saw that. Now I'm thinking maybe nobody pushed him. Maybe he blanked out for a moment or something, and it was this other self of him who kind of threw himself off the, or something like that happened. Like maybe he just like somehow like took his own life over there, but he's thinking someone pushed him. Maybe there's nobody there who's pushing him, and it's just himself. He's the only one who's just, kind of like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's all in his head. That's why I cannot trust the information that we're getting from Subaru's point of view here. So we don't have like proper clues here. Whatever we're seeing from Subaru's point of view in itself is something that I cannot properly trust. So I cannot make sense of what's going on here. It's still like, I feel like we still need more info here. Right. Now, still, like, obviously, like a lot of the things that we have seen here does answer a few of the questions, like what was up with Meili, how did Meili died, all those questions got kind of answered. But now the bigger question here is, who is this person, like inside of Subaru? What is this? And a better question is, like, maybe, I don't know, like maybe it's all in his head or something. Maybe that something else is going on and he's just I don't know. But anyways, like whatever we saw in the Book of the Dead, that is legitimate information, I would assume, and I would hope so. So I'm guessing like this Subaru, this other version of Subaru that was talking like that, this is actually something that happened. It's not all in his head. Like, so based on the Book of Dead, so so yeah, now the question is, what is this? Who is this Subaru? Now I'm going to go back to that part and see that section when Meili sneaks in and Subaru, okay, addresses her. Okay, so as you can see, Meili goes up, sneaks into the library, and Subaru's like, oh, yo, like, I was looking for a book myself. So you can see it was pretty normal here. So I'm guessing this is the time when Subaru came up the stairs. So now you can see Meili then runs away from them. So he's like, oh, my actions have been seen, noticed, suspected. She had not wanted to be found out. She had not wanted him to know. So she looks back, goes back again. And here's where you can see Subaru has changed. So obviously, this happened after he read the book. Whatever book it was, whoever's book it was, this is the moment where whatever is happening to Subaru happens. So he's a changed person here. Now I'm assuming it is because he was reading the book, and as Beatrice explained, that reading these books can meld your brain to whatever the person is in the book too much, and you think you're actually them. So yeah, like I said, we need to understand whose book this is. If we get to know whose book this is, a lot of our questions will get answered. But that's the thing, we don't know whose book he was reading. But since he was reading the book, it must mean it is a book or about a person who he knows and who's dead. So these are the two filters or parameters, I guess, you can apply, and try to think of anyone who matches this. Who is it? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe I can figure out from the way Subaru was acting here. So he's like, you're so shallow. I should. Oh God, I need. You know what? I might just go back and try to listen to, because I've forgotten a lot of the way a lot of characters speak. He has a very distinct way of speaking here, and I feel like I've heard this way of speaking before. Who talks like this? Like Kobiro Nayo. Like it's like a. Yeah, it is gluttony, right? Wait a minute. Okay, just a minute. I need to hear how gluttony speaks. Like, like what was their name? Roy. Well, I forgot their names as well. Just a minute, guys. Let me just check something. Uh, versus. Let me just bring up like gluttony versus Beatrice or something. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, it is gluttony. But then, isn't gluttony still a? I don't understand this. Oh no, wait. Oh my god, my memory is very. Did we? Uh, just a minute. Season 3. What happened at the end? I'm forgetting of. At the end of season 3, did we? Okay, beautiful. Yeah, okay, another thing. Okay, like I said, my memory is a bit hazy. There was another character that appeared at the end of season 3, which is also gluttony, I think, and it's a girl. Like, like yellow haired character. Let me listen to her voice first. Rui Arnib. Okay, yeah, that's the name. Okay, no, I don't think the pattern kind of, I don't know. But the way gluttony speaks is actually. Okay. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm like 50% convinced it is gluttony. That is like, So, but then my question is, like, whose book was he reading? Like, it's not glutton's still alive, so it's not gluttony, right? Then was it? Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So another thing, the Subaru talks says like, like, oh, like when you know your instincts, like act on it. Your boring worries, your dumb suffering, all of it. I remember. Yeah, it is gluttony. Come on, this. Okay, you know what? I'm very much convinced now. Like he's like dropping so many hints. He's saying, "I'll remember it for you." Freaking hell! And then he's like smelling. So like obviously gluttony, like gluttony eats like memories and everything. So that's another correlation, I guess. Like he's like smelling her hair or something. Yeah, and then when Maylee's like about that talk last night, and then this is where he switches. Yeah, and then he pushes Maylee, and he's like, okay. Yeah, so I think I'm pretty much convinced that it is gluttony within Subaru or something like that. Obviously, that is why, like, but, and then that, like, the book that he was reading, that's another question that I still have, and I'm not 100% sure whose book it is. But it is something to do with gluttony, obviously. Otherwise, why the hell did gluttony suddenly manifest within Subaru? Like, or what is going on over here? Yeah. Okay, so I am guessing we need to take care of gluttony before any of this gets resolved. Or whatever is going on here, like we have to, you know. Right. Hmm. Now, okay, enough about that. There's another thing that I wanted to talk about, which is Maylee's story. So Maylee's backstory is shown over here. So Maylee already kind of explained it a little bit to us about how she was abandoned because she has this thing where like she attracts like animal like mobbies and everything, and that might have been the reason why she was abandoned in the first place, as she said. And that's also the reason why she was able to survive in that forest. And as we see, like we can see here clearly that the mobbies took her in, and she kind of like became like their queen, like their empress, and until Elsa came in and took her in. So okay, now this part I don't actually understand what. Oh no, I understand. Like I guess like Lust kind of, I forgot her name. What was her name? Whatever it was. Like changes her into this like creature, and she kind of like survives like like this for quite a while, and in the end Lust again brings her back, like gives her back her body. Elsa also tells Amelie not to do as she tells you to, but Meili here, as you can see, as like the narrator, which is super in this situation, kind of says that Meili. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So after like like everything that happened, Elsa died and all that, and then she was taken in by Subaru's group and all. You can see. So was she sad? What exactly is sadness? Um, Having always gone with the flow, living her life imitating others. Yeah, she didn't know what genuine emotions were. So which is true. Obviously, as we can see, like from the very beginning, she like and that's how kids are. They imitate whatever they see, and kind of like tries to become like that. So surroundings make a person. So she was surrounded with mabis first, so she imitated them and she thought she was one of them. That's why she ran on four legs, she ate like that, and she was like an animal. But then she came across, like Elsa took her in, and she little by little started imitating Elsa. And now Elsa's gone, who should she imitate? Whose example should she follow in life? If Mama, which is Lust, I guess, had ordered the girl to die and call it teaching, she would have. And then we can see Subaru comes in. So I'm guessing she decides to imitate Subaru from here onwards. Or she didn't decide, I guess, but she got an odd chance to go out because this is where Subaru was like, "Oh, will you come with me?" And this is when we start the journey to the Pleiades Tower and all that. And she's like, "Oh, I might be able to get an answer if I go there," and that's why she comes here to the library. And yeah, and now we know like what happened after that. Subaru came here to the library and she was like, "Oh no, like he found out that I have a different kind of a reason." So at first she runs away, but then when she comes back, it's not Subaru there anymore, it's someone else because Subaru was reading a book. And then we know what happened after that, as we can see, like like then like what's his name? Oh, also another thing I guess you can say here is like the reason why, because Subaru says here, "Can't you hear what you really want in the depths of your heart?" What I really want, learn to listen to your desire, and you'll come to see yourself a bit. Yeah, so obviously she was suffering and she was struggling to find an identity for herself, and that's why she came here. And when Subaru here, or whatever this is, literally pinpointed what she is trying to do, and like she got interested and she was like, "Oh, maybe this guy can give me some answers." And that's why later on, when she asks Subaru and he switches again, Subaru then lures her into that place and kills her. Or not Subaru, but whatever that is, like I said. Um, yeah, and that is the whole section as to what happened over there. Now, after all of that, Subaru's now seeing like a ghost of Meili or whatever. Like, but obviously that is not a ghost of Meili. That is like, I'm guessing that's probably like part of him himself that is kind of doing that, or maybe like some influence from this other Subaru. Or again, I think it's gluttony. So yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So and then after that, what else happens? Okay, and then there was also that section where they decide to try to find Meili, and like obviously they're not able to find Meili, and Subaru's like, "What the hell?" Now I do wonder why they were not able to find Meili, and also like Sharla acted like that when she was like, "Oh, I understand," when Subaru was like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" So was that really like, did Sharla like, did she like realize that Subaru killed Meili, and that's why she was like, "Oh, okay, I understand." And was it her who who hid Meili's body or something? That's why nobody was able to find out. Now after that, you can see Subaru decides to go back to that place to try to do something to the body, but the body's missing now. And Ram is there, and Ram is like, "Oh, I know what you're doing. You think nobody saw you?" And she's like doing this, and Subaru's like, "Oh, like you know like, yeah, she saw me." And then in his head he's like thinking about that whole statement, which is like, when someone does something bad or takes a life, they will again resort to doing that because it, like they find it easier to just commit a crime, like commit a murder, because they've already done it once. So yeah, now he's like thinking about like taking Ram's life. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. So again, like I said, there's still a lot of questions that I have, but I think I'm pretty convinced at the fact that this is probably gluttony. Because like I said, I kind of went back and looked at a few gluttony clips, and I don't know exactly which gluttony it is, but the way Subaru was speaking there, the way, like the tone, it very much matches with how Gluttony speaks. One of the Gluttony speaks, I think. Uh, so yeah, and a lot of other things kind of point towards that direction because, like I said, like Gluttony is the only one who has something to do with memories, and like a lot of these things that are going on over here is based on memories. Like, oh, Subaru's missing his memories, and like this and that, and like like all these things. So yeah, a lot of these things are all based on like mind. So as Beatrice mentioned, when you read one of the books of the dead, since you're experiencing it, you sometimes your mind kind of like melds together with that. So I think something like that has happened here, and like there's a part of him that became like Gluttony or something, and something like that is going on. I don't know. I have no idea, but like I'm guessing it is something close to that. What is going on over here? Right. All right. And there you go. That was today's episode. Either way, let's wait and see. Like I said, like a lot of these things are they're kind of explaining it little by little, and I think by the end of this season we will probably have our answer. How many episodes does this season have? Let me check. Season 4. Just a minute. Oh, 19. Wait, what? 19? Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Wait, so ReZero is going to continue even in the even after June? I think so. Otherwise, otherwise 19 episode makes no sense. We're at 10th at the 10th episode, so we need there's still like 9 more episodes after this. Yeah, and it'll take us like 2 more months after this to complete. Okay. And there you go. That was, yeah. Okay, you know what? 9 episodes. I think like it's way good enough time to explain whatever the hell is going on over here, and we might actually come to a because like I was thinking like maybe they're going to like do this like a second cour of this or something, and we'll have to wait again for like a few months to get to the end of this. But no, since it's 19 episodes, I'm guessing they'll probably like whatever's happening here is going to get explained in this season only, and we won't have to wait or something. Okay. Yeah, and there you go. That was episode number 10. So thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to ReZero Season 4 Episode 10. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.